Alright, now we're ready for our new lesson. So I will play the video. Alright, so you guys learned that this is called a heat lamp, and this heat lamp transfers thermal energy to the object that I shine it on due to electromagnetic waves. So we learned that radiation is the transfer of thermal energy through the electromagnetic waves, even if it's not touching the object. So when I turn it on, my hand, it feels warm because thermal energy is being transferred through the wavelengths from the light. But if I shine it onto this whiteboard, which is the color white, and I put my hand over here, my hand does not feel the heat because the electromagnetic waves that carry the thermal energy, they're bouncing off of the color white. So the waves, imagine they're coming out and then they reflect off of the white whiteboard so that now my hand, which is on the other side, does not feel the heat. Okay, and this time we're going to try out a different material. So here I have aluminum foil, and we'll see what happens again. So when I turn on my heat lamp and I put my hand right here, my hand feels thermal energy because thermal energy is transferring from the lamp to my hand through radiation because of electromagnetic waves. And now when I put my hand behind the aluminum barrier, my hand does not feel the thermal energy. And like we said, just like the whiteboard, it's the same thing. The electromagnetic waves are reflecting off of the aluminum so that the thermal energy is not getting carried to my hand. Okay, and now we're going to test our last material, which is just black paper. And now black is different from the aluminum and the whiteboard because black is a darker color. So when I shine my light, and I put my hand right here, again, my hand feels warmer because of thermal energy transfer from the heat lamp to my hand through radiation. And now if I put my hand right over here, it's still feeling some amount of thermal energy. And the reason why is because the color black is absorbing, it's taking in the electromagnetic waves from the heat lamp. So dark colors like black and dark blue, they are going to absorb the electromagnetic waves that carry the thermal energy so that when I put my hand over here, it still feels some of the thermal energy transfer. Alright, so in the demonstration, we tested 3 different materials. We had our white colored whiteboard, our aluminum foil, and our black paper. So just to show you one more time, when I shine my light from the heat lamp onto the whiteboard, you see how the light is reflecting off of the whiteboard. So the light is bouncing off of the color white because it's not being absorbed, it's not being taken in. And now if I shine it onto my aluminum, same thing, you see that the light is shining back to the camera. It's bouncing off of the aluminum and reflecting. And now if I shine it onto the black color paper, a lot of the light is not reflecting. Instead, it's being absorbed by the color black. So it's being absorbed to the black paper. All right, and now your job for your discussion homework today is to decide if we were to design and build a house, like a miniature toy house, would you rather make the roof out of something like the color white, or would you rather make the roof with something like aluminum, or would you rather cover the roof with something like the color black? You have to think about how we do not want our house to heat up. So which material would be best to use on the roof of our house if we want to minimize thermal energy transfer from the sun? So imagine the sun is in the sky and it's going to shine light to our roof of the houses. And what material would be best to use if you do not want the heat from the sun's radiation to enter our house? Alright, so this video taught you the difference between reflect and absorb of radiation. So now I'm going to go over it a little bit more. So which color sweater will gain more thermal energy from the sun's radiation? So basically, which color sweater will be hotter? So hopefully you've had experience with this. Maybe you've worn a black sweater before or a white sweater before in the hot sun, and you experienced that When you wear a black sweater, the electromagnetic waves from the sun's radiation that carry thermal energy, they get absorbed into your black sweater. So you start to get very, very hot because the thermal energy is being transferred through these waves that get absorbed by the color black. But when you wear a white sweater, the radiation from the sun is going to reflect. It's going to bounce off the white color so that you don't feel as hot. You don't get as hot. That's why a lot of people say, oh, in the summertime, you should wear light colored clothes like white, yellow, because light colored clothes are going to reflect the electromagnetic waves from the sun, and it's going to keep you cooler. It's not going to heat up as fast. And same thing, so say that people who have really dark colored hair, like I have super black hair, so when I'm out in the sun for a long time and I touch the top of my head, my hair is super hot because my hair is black and it's absorbing all the electromagnetic waves from the sun, making it heat up faster. All right, and then this is another experience you might have had. Will the white sidewalk or the black pavement gain more thermal energy from the sun's radiation? So imagine you had to walk barefoot and it's super hot outside. Would walking barefoot on the white sidewalk be better or on the black pavement be better? Well, you have experience hopefully from this. The radiation from the sun gets absorbed by the black pavement because it's the color black, just like the sweater. So the black pavement will absorb more solar radiation from sun because it's a darker color. So the black pavement will gain more thermal energy and be hotter. And for the white sidewalk, the electromagnetic waves, they will actually bounce off and reflect. So the white sidewalk will reflect the solar radiation because it is a lighter color. The electromagnetic waves, they will reflect like a mirror, right? They will bounce back and make the white sidewalk gain less thermal energy. So in summary, let's go back. In summary, objects that are darker in color, they're going to absorb the electromagnetic waves that carry thermal energy. They're going to absorb it. That means that darker colors will maximize. They will increase the rate of thermal energy transfer by radiation. Again, darker colors will maximize the rate of thermal energy transfer. It's going to increase how hot it gets. Objects that are lighter in color will reflect. They will reflect the electromagnetic waves that carry thermal energy. The electromagnetic waves will bounce off. So lighter colors will minimize. They will decrease and slow down the rate of thermal energy transfer by radiation. So for today's discussion, this page right here should help you a lot with your explanation. So hopefully you're still watching the video because right now you're getting the answers for today's discussion post. If you don't know how to explain yourself, come back to this slide. This is a good summary slide. Now you're going to turn in your comment on your discussion post. The question for today is, what paint color would you use for the roof of your house to minimize? You want to slow down the rate of thermal energy transfer into the house. So again, what paint color would you use if you want to, let's go back. If you want to minimize the rate of thermal energy transfer, what paint color would you use? Well, it tells us if you use darker colors, you're going to maximize the thermal energy transfer. So if you want to minimize the rate of thermal energy transfer, you want to use lighter colors. So for today's discussion, decide what paint color would you use. Would you use something like the color white, the color black, the color red? What kind of color would you use? So here's some examples of different houses with different roofs. What do you think would be the best decision? And you need to explain how you know. I would use blank paint color for the roof of the house because, and make sure you tell me how you know. Alright, so now that you're done watching this video, you're gonna go and do your discussion for Friday. And here is the password for today's discussion. Today's discussion is reflect. We're talking about how you want to have a roof color that will reflect the radiation. So our password is reflect. So please go ahead and go to our purple folder, click on the house design discussion number 3, and like we've done before, I've given you a clue with the picture, and you're gonna copy and paste. So how to copy, you're gonna highlight what you wanna copy, like this, and then you can press copy, and then over here you're gonna press paste, and then you'll type in the password. The password from today's video, like I said, is reflect, and then you can answer the question. I would use blank paint color. What paint color would you use? I'm not going to tell you, you choose, and make sure you explain properly. If you don't know how to explain, then go back to this slide right here that explains which color is best. Alright,